Hello, I'm back with another video. If you hear that loud noise in the back, it is my washing machine. I am currently doing laundry, but I didn't want to sit and wait until the laundry was done before recording another video. So I was just like, screw it. The noise hopefully isn't unbearable. But I am on TCM because I figured why not go on ahead and record a video just showing off my builds. Not, giving you any ideas. Not trying to steer your hand, be like, oh, run this build, don't use these perks. This is just simply my opinions. Just wanted to just give a little bit of info about the perks and characters I like to play the most. Nothing crazy. Here, hold on a sec. I'm gonna turn my TV volume up a little bit. That should be good. Okay. Whoa. So, actually, hold on. I'm going to turn it back down a little bit. Sorry. Okay. So, obviously, I'm going straight to TCM because I'm not going to go to Rush Week. Okay. So, I have been playing TCM since its initial release. As you can see, I have everybody except Virginia. I used to have Virginia. I did buy her when she first came out, but I had eventually refunded her because I just didn't play her. I maxed her out, then I refunded her. I mean, I've always thought about rebuying her, but I kind of just didn't. Actually, Maria, I've also refunded in the past, but I rebought her again. I refunded her, saved my money for something else, and then rebought her again, and I plan on keeping her. Um, And Danny, I've actually also, back when Danny first came out, I've refunded Danny twice. I refunded Danny twice because I was contemplating between game sharing with somebody else to have Game Pass, or just buying Danny. No, buying Game Pass for myself, or just buying Danny for myself and trying to game share with somebody for Game Pass. Um, but one thing I will say is that I personally enjoy Victim the most. I mostly play Victim in my free time. One of my good friends I love playing this game with the most. They unfortunately don't like playing Victim as much. They'll play Victim, but they're big on family. So, you know, that's okay. Because to be honest, at least I'm playing family. So it's just like, why not go over who I like to play for family and Victim and the builds I use on them. And of course, I'm not gonna sit here and, like I said, I'm not gonna sit here and, steer your hand towards running a certain build, as by no means I'm not the best player at this game. I may really enjoy it, but I'm not the best player, that's for sure. At least I don't think I am. So, onto the builds. Okay, so feels weird honestly sharing these builds. Anyways, for Connie, I have, you can see that, highly skilled, jumpstart, and been working out. I have 35 toughness, 26 endurance, 31 strength, and 50 proficiency. The only reason why I have 26 endurance is because after this new update, endurance is unfortunately bugged again. So I only run. Apparently, I've heard that you only have to put 1 point into endurance. I don't know if that's true or not. I kind of just have 1 point into it, but I mean, I could easily take that out or keep it in. It really doesn't matter, but that's just how it is. I don't really have any points into endurance. And plus, I've got jumpstart anyways, because with the stamina being bugged, even if your stamina drains pretty quickly, it still regens much faster. And, I got jumpstart to help with that. So, honestly, I don't even need that 1 point. But, it really doesn't matter. It's kind of just wherever you really want to put it. I also have an alternative build, I guess. I don't even know what this build. I thought I had a different build. Oh, no, I did. It's because I had on efficient backstabber instead of tougher stuff. But this was strictly just so I could get 50 strength on Connie. That's really the only reason why I wanted to use this, because I'm an idiot and I have the idea of running 50 strength on a character that should be unlocking doors. But it doesn't matter. It's fine, because really, when you think about it, I could just get out the generator exit really fast. So, you know what? I'm not even mad about that. I regret nothing. Okay. Anyways, I'm gonna be honest, I don't play Connie like really at all. So when it comes to like what builds to run, I don't really know because I don't really play her that often. Just be not because I don't like Connie. I think Connie's one of the strongest victims in the game. But what I will say is just that she's not for me. Is what I really want to say. She's not for me. She's not my play style really at all. So that's why I don't really have her. That's why I don't really play her that often and really have the best build. Because I know, like, say a much better build would maybe be like Bomb Squad, maybe throw on Saboteur up here, or if you want to go right, maybe like Bounce Back Better's right there. We got extra drip here. I know she has efficient locksmith. Where is it? I know she has it. It's somewhere in her skill tree because I used to use it on her, but I can't. Oh, yep, it's up here. Efficient locksmith. I know she definitely got a lot of good perks, but this is just a build I run on her. But it's okay because I don't play Connie that often. Anyways, on to the next victim. I'm gonna save the best for last. I'm gonna save the best for last. So you know what? If I'm gonna save the best for last, that means that I'm going to do. Okay, let's do Maria. Why not? Maria, I don't have maxed out because I did buy her again. Like I said, I refunded her. I rebought her again, and I don't have her maxed out yet, unfortunately. But it's okay. In terms of the build I like to use on her, I have two builds. This build right here, which is just like a proficiency-based build. I really just wanted a build to use to unlock doors quickly because, if I wanted to get a lot of XP to level up Maria quickly, I would want to use a build that could help me get XP quickly. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I have a 50 proficiency build right here with Bomb Squad, so that way I can just get objectives done, so that way I can get enough XP. Because once I get enough XP and I get her ability level 3, I have this build right here, which is more of an aggressive build that I have with 50 strength. Because like I said, I'm stupid. And I just like distracting. So we got Back for Blood, so that way, I can, stab Grandpa and heal afterwards. So that way, and also I'm pairing this up with Pep Talk, so that way, like, say if I'm low, I can go up to Grandpa, sweet talk him, then sneak attack him, and recover. Basically, I don't have the perk maxed out yet, but if I did, it would be 35%, but only 30%, which, I mean, it's okay. That's still a pretty good amount of health. And then, I needed a good third perk to run, and I mean, out of these selections of perks, what doesn't kill you is probably the best one to have, as I know Engine's only useful against Leatherface. Stunt Double's good. Don't get me wrong. I like Stunt Double, but I mean, I really just would prefer to use what doesn't kill you because I would say I will kind of often, but not often enough to really need this perk, and I don't really jump out of windows either. So, yeah, I don't need it. Although I would definitely recommend it to anyone who wants to use this perk because it's very good. Anyways, let's do Julie. Why not? Okay, Julie. As you can see, I have a bit of an aggressive build on her. Choose fight, efficient backstabber, and empower. And I'll be honest, I've never been that much of a choose fight user. I do have choose fight on her because it's just a part of a whole fighting build that I want to use. Although I don't use choose fight that often, if I'm being completely honest. Like, if I were to get rid of any of these perks, I might honestly choose fight for bounce back better, for example, because I do like bounce back better. As you can see, I do have all my points into strength, but I could easily take like 5 points out and put those into toughness for 30 toughness, or into proficiency for just 25 proficiency. Because God, is Julie's proficiency awful. But if I'm feeling like a mad lad, then, I'll just go all points into strength and just try to distract the family. Because also, not only, even if endurance wasn't bugged, I still wouldn't put points into Julie's endurance because her ability, ultimate escape, is just very strong for being able to run really quickly. I just realized I never even showed the ability paths for the characters. That's okay though. But yeah, you just saw Julie's. That was right, middle, left. Connie's is also right, middle, left as well, as you can see here. And Maria's would also be right, middle, left as well, I think, or right, middle, middle. Let me check, because I know it's right, middle, obviously. Actually, no, it. Oh, that's a tough one. It honestly probably would be right, middle, middle. Because it could be right, middle, left. But I just got to hope that I'm getting a team that will actually, like, feed Grandpa and level him up. So that way I could be able to constantly keep sweet talking him, I feel like additional Grandpa Sonar would be very useful with uh, this perk over here. Yeah, Blood Clot Cry, which heals you a little bit. Heals you 25 health whenever Grandpa does a Sonar for charges. So I think this will really help out for Grandpa constantly doing Sonars. You know, I think that's what that perk could be useful for. What that ability modifier could be useful for. But yeah, for Julie, that's just typically what I use because while I was trying to level her up, I did use a proficiency build, but that was just because I wanted to level her up. I mean, that's all there really is to it. I still have to get efficient backstab maxed out, but you know it's okay. It is what it is. Um, Next, like I said, I'm saving the best ones for last. Ana. Okay. Sorry. Ana, I have a fighting build on. Originally, I actually had a proficiency build on Ana. I had Bomb Squad. Where's Bomb Squad? No, it's not right there. Yeah, right. Bomb Squad's over here. I had Bomb Squad, highly skilled, and I had Bomb Squad, highly skilled, and I don't even know what my third perk was. I'll be honest here. I don't really know. Um, It probably no, it was ran track. Right, it was ran track. Sorry, I was forgetting there for a second. Yeah, it was ran track. But I mean, you know, since they fixed grab, this was the build I was running because back when the game first got broken, if you didn't know, the game got broken and it was just really bad. Grappling was just really bugged, and you couldn't grapple because you had a pretty high chance of losing. So, um, yeah, this was like the type of build I ran on her, but then eventually grappling got fixed, so I went to a build. Now, unfortunately, you know, because obviously ever since the skill tree rework, she doesn't have grappler, or she doesn't have grappler, and choose fight is not really in a good spot on her skill tree, in my honest opinion. So, to be honest, like I said, I'm not really that big of a choose fight user, so that's why I don't really have it. As you can see, I have been working out fight back and extra drip. Well, extra drip just because I want a healing perk. Been working out for the additional strength, and then fight back so I can have at least some sort of fighting perk. But any of these perks are easily interchangeable for slippery and or what doesn't kill you, as these perks are also very strong. I don't have either of them leveled up because I don't play Ana often, but these perks are also really good, in my opinion, for, you know, trying to distract the family. Because I feel like there's a huge difference between trying to fight the family compared to just straight up trying to distract them and, like, for example, run them. Because if you wanted to have a more evasive build, then you might want to run, like, maybe, like, high tolerance, just in case if there's a sissy, so that way you can keep running away from her even while you're poisoned. Slippery, definitely for the additional movement speed. Now, I know I don't have it, but also, where is it? Jumpstart is also just really good option. Heck, even Choose Flight, even though Choose Flight got nerfed. And a little bit of a fight and flight kind of perk, you know, empowered, just being able to get all that stamina back as long as you can win those close encounters, which, you know, if you're not good at mashing, as long as you're at full health, you should be able to win regardless. So, nothing too crazy. Next, Danny. Okay, now real quick, Danny, for some reason, I don't have any perks on. Hold on, give me one sec. Okay, we're back. Sorry, I didn't realize I didn't have anything equipped on him. My camera's not focusing for some reason. Okay, there we go. Sorry. So, the build I use on him is been working out speed search and what doesn't kill you. Been working out just for the extra strength because, like I said, I just love using strength. Now I know Danny, just like Connie, is a proficiency character, but actually I have a whole unique take on Danny, in my opinion. Personally, this is gonna come as a hot take, okay? But just remember, this is strictly my opinion, okay? So disagree if you want to disagree. That is a-okay. In my humble opinion, I think Danny is the best victim in the game. Because I know you'd probably say, no, Connie. And why, yes, I can understand that. And I definitely think Connie's number 2. But in my honest opinion, I think Danny's the best victim in the game. I just think that his ability is just a lot more stronger, in my opinion. Because when you really think about it, with Connie's ability is very strong, being able to instantly pop a lock, especially in a lot of situations. But I feel like Danny's ability just in the long run is just much more beneficial to you, but also your team as well. It kind of depends. But also, I feel like Danny essentially has no counterplay if there's no hands. Once he gets something tampered, that's game over. You get what I'm saying? If there is a hands, Danny actually one thing I like about Danny as well. Danny can also serve as a good distraction to hands because when there's a Danny in the match, it puts a lot of pressure on the family, especially it puts a lot of pressure on the family, and they gotta and hands the other two family members are going to heavily rely on hands to make sure that Danny doesn't get any exits open. So a good Danny can keep a hands distracted, if not just completely get an exit open, regardless of ripstall. So, that's just my take on it. And I like to use been working out speed search what doesn't kill you. This is a bit more of like a fighter build or just like runner or like a distraction build, so that way we can also distract, say, in chase if we can't get an objective tampered. Now, a little bit more of like a sabotaging build would be more of like hair or meat, so you keep doing valve. You could keep trying to push the pressure valve maybe if there's no hands, or if there is a hands he doesn't rip stall it. You'd have Taekwondo if you really want it. Of course, the Holy Bomb Squad to just keep disarming traps. You got stunt doubles, so that way you can always well when you need to, and even jump out of windows if you have to. You got like a very good sabotage build. You got a runner build, which this runner build was a build I was using at one point, which is empowered, slippery, and jumpstart, which this is a really, really slippery, and jumpstart's a very, very strong perk combo in my opinion. You can get it on Connie, Anna, Sunny, and Danny, I believe. Very, very strong perk combo. I'm not running it right now, but it is definitely worth a try. And then you have more of like a unlocking build. One thing I will say about Danny, this is just my humble opinion, and this, I'm not saying other Danny should do this, but what I actually think is, I feel like when it comes to Danny, I feel like I don't like really like unlocking doors as a Danny. I like to strictly just try to make sure I'm doing interior objectives like the fuse box and pressure valve to be able to tamper those, compared to, say, trying to unlock a side. However, there's of course a proficiency build for those of you who don't like to tamper. Fast hands, Fast hands is a very, very strong proficiency perk right now. It still is. Highly skilled for the increase in proficiency. And then you've also got ran track. Now, endurance is bugged, but I mean, you could still technically use this if you wanted to. But you've also got safety in numbers right here as well, just in case. Full hearts, fish hooks is bugged. And plus, if you're going to be doing objectives, I wouldn't recommend running it anyways. So, whatever. Anyways, that's my build for Danny. On to Sunny. Okay, I don't know what's going on with this build here. This is not a build I use on him, but I mean, whatever. So one thing I will note is that for Danny, Sunny, and Leland, I switch up my builds a lot. That's why I'm also going over alternative builds, because those are certain builds that I would run on those characters in the past. I switch up my builds a lot. That's all. So yeah, for Sunny, I've got extra drip, what doesn't kill you, and tougher stuff. Now, of course, this build is interchangeable, just like a lot of other perks. I mean, heck, you could even run choose flight, but I don't really think that's necessary. No cell, Taekwondo, stunt double, all that stuff, right? As you can see, attributes, I've got 15 into strength for 50 strength, and then 16 into toughness for 38 toughness, and also the additional 7 that I get from tougher stuff, which, of course, tougher stuff is very strong for Sunny because as you can tell, Sunny, oh Jesus, what am I doing? Sunny's toughness is very low. If you can't see, it is 15. So that's why tougher stuff really does help out. Now, as far as other builds I used to run on Sunny in the past, so actually, funny fact, my first ever Sunny build, well, you can't run anymore, but it used to be efficient grappler, efficient backstabber, and tougher stuff. Unfortunately, you can't get this build anymore because Sunny, after the skill tree rework, when Hands and Maria came out, Sunny was no longer able to have efficient grappler and efficient backstabber, which is really a bummer, man, because I really loved using those perks together. But yeah, here's my skill tree path, and then yeah, but I originally did used to go right. I also do like using fight and flight, but unfortunately you can't get it in the same path as the others. A build I did use for a pretty long time after endurance was fixed was jumpstart, slippery, and then the third perk was a perk of your choice. Yeah, the perk is easily well, the third perk is really just up to your choice. At the time, I wouldn't use fight back. I would use extra drip, and I would also use get it off me. Now I think this perk's underrated. If you don't know, this perk, when you get caught in a trap, each button tap that goes towards the progression bar for how quickly you can escape the trap is increased by up to, I think, 80%. Yes, 80%, which is really good. But what I really like about this perk is each button tap that goes into the failure bar being the bar on the left that shows like how close you are to hurting yourself while trying to take the trap off. That and combined with the 80% increase trap escape difficulty makes it so escaping traps is extremely easy. Like, you can basically spam the trap and get out automatically without even needing to use a bone scrap. It's really powerful. And also, just a heads up, it works for Nancy's traps too. It works for Hitchhiker and Nancy's traps. So if you get a hitch in Nancy and you feel like you might get caught in a trap, it's a good perk. Heck, maybe if you're even a new player and you're not too familiar with certain areas, certain areas where the family members might place their traps at, and you feel like you might accidentally step into a trap, you could always run this perk to really help out with that. Also, another thing too is this helps out with low toughness because if you don't already know, toughness affects how quickly you can break out of traps. It doesn't show that in the description, but toughness influences how quickly you can break out of traps. So a base toughness Sunny would take a long time to escape out of a trap, but a base toughness Anna or a Maria could break out of a trap really quickly. You get what I'm saying? So, God, that is good. I got some rice here. I'm almost done with it, but I got some rice here. It's really good. But yeah, that's the Sunny build. Also, actually, no, one more thing. On the left, you got your proficiency build. Right here, Sneaky Pete. I mean, you don't really need Sneaky Pete, but right here is Agitator and Safety in Numbers. Well, I'll always go right for Agitator because I don't run Safety in Numbers. 2 reasons: can't trust randoms, and also it's just like, I don't really know. You got Ran Track and Fast Hands. I mean, which way you want to go is entirely up to you because either of these sides are really strong. But I like to go for Fast Hands. At least it's better to go for Fast Hands because Endurance is bugged right now anyways. But yeah, you go for Fast Hands. And then, excuse me. Fishhooks right here. Fishhooks is bugged. That don't really matter. But you also get Highly Skilled. And then your last perk would really just be No Cell. Not No Cell, sorry. Extra Drip. Right? So you'd have Fast Hands, Highly Skilled, and Extra Drip. For the ability, for Sunny, I kind of switch it up. Sometimes it'll be range. Sometimes it'll be consumption rate. It really doesn't matter because Sunny's ability is still really good anyways. So, I mean, it kind of is irrelevant. If I'm being completely honest here. And last but not least, my personal favorite, Leland. It's not loading up. Okay, yep, there he is. Now I know you see I have the default perks on. This is because I was going on a little bit of a nostalgia trip with TCM, and I was actually using just the default perks. Now, if I had to go off of a build I would use right now, I have quite a few options in terms of builds that I would use. Like right now, I have quite a few options. So, first things first, I'm going to head to the skill tree. This is my skill tree path right now. But I mean, this is irrelevant. Okay, give me 1 second. I got a text. And we're back. Okay. So, as best I can zoom in. Okay, so Leland for his skill tree path. Most of the builds that I would run probably in the left path because you got no cell right here, been working on right here, and then right here you got choose fight and ballroom hero, or no, choose fight and highly skilled. I go left for highly skilled and ballroom hero, and then I get empowered, and then really when you go here, it's kind of up to you. But if you want to go left, you get a lot better perks. Because if you go left, I mean, clear eyes ain't really all that. But you get bounce back better. You get fight and flight. You get taekwondo and stunt double. Yep, this path is really strong. If you want to go right, you get full hearts. And if you're new, I'd say it's not bad of a perk. You can get efficient backstabber, choose flight. When you're right here, you can still go left to get stunt double. But I typically go right for the extra attribute point. Okay, back. Sorry. A little bit of a weird interruption. Excuse me. Not really too sure where I left off, but I know I was leaving off, I'd say, right about here. I would go this way because of the extra attribute point. And then when you're at the top, you can go right for agitator and efficient grappler, or you can go for what doesn't kill you. Excuse me. I would typically go left, and that's only because I don't really use agitator or efficient grappler. Well, I did use efficient grappler a while back, but also, if you haven't already noticed, you get 1 extra attribute point, which isn't that big of a deal, but I mean, I like extra attribute points. You get what I'm saying? So, that's why I typically go left on Leland. And then for the right path, you get better stats, just not as good perks. I mean, you get Lone Survivor. Lone Survivor is eh. But you do get Grappler, which Grappler is pretty good. Even after the nerf, it's still good. After I get Grappler, I typically go right. But I know the left side's a good path too. You get Parting Gift, which ain't half bad. You get Rally Leader, which I don't think affects your teammates, unfortunately. It only affects yourself. Because even then, you'd be better off just running Ballroom Hero, because Ballroom Hero is 60%. Bad Blood, I don't use Bad Blood. Dead Weight, I don't use Dead Weight either. Dead Weight's not really good. But when you get Hot Tolerance or Tougher Stuff, I'd probably go for tougher stuff because Leland's toughness is pretty low. And then you'd basically just loop back into the same path from before. And I already went over that. Same to say if you went right for high tolerance, you could just get ran track instead. And then you'd end up going back up to the top again. Now, the path that I took it is right again. You get well trained. I don't use well trained, but I don't use Jack in the Box either, or Conditioned, but you do get Last Ditch Effort. That was a perk I used to use a lot. Am I Bleeding? Second Wind. I did use that when I was new. Didn't really use it. Actually, no, before I keep going to the left, let me go to the right real quick, because I already went to the left pretty much with Ran Track. But yeah, you go to the right, you get Light on your feet. No, don't even use that. Fight Back, which I think is pretty good. And Extra Drip. And then if you keep going, you get Jumpstart, and then you get Efficient Grappler. You can't get Agitator. But, I mean, you do get Jumpstart and Extra Drip, which are two really, really good perks and can really help out, especially on Leland. Now, the original path I took for Leland, and this was my first ever build on Leland that I had gotten myself, that I ran for the longest time. Let me get that real quick. Okay, so this was my original first build on Leland. The exact attributes and everything. I have Grappler, What Doesn't Kill You, and Last Ditch Effort. This is my very first build. I got this build and Leland maxed out when I was level 18. I have 39 points into toughness, which technically I have 1 attribute point left over, but this was back before they added that attribute, so technically I would have had 39 toughness. But now, I technically just have 40. 35 endurance, which now I don't need because endurance is bugged, and 50 strength. So how would I rework this around now? Well, I would take 5 points out of both endurance and toughness, and I would put that into proficiency instead for a total of 35 toughness, proficiency, and 50 strength. Well, just because endurance is bugged, I don't need to put points into endurance. But yeah, that's really just my OG build, and that you know, that's how it was back then, and then how I would change onto it now. Leland has always been my main from the beginning. I've spent a lot of hours playing Leland. He's been my main since day one, forever and always. I actually, as far as I know, this is my time spent going through his skill tree path several times. Leland, the highest amount of attribute points he can get is 35, and he can get them off of 2 paths. Both of them you have to go to the right for. Anyways, yeah, this video is 30 minutes. I think I'm going to end it here. I'll do a separate video discussing the family members. I would have done both of them in the same video, but unfortunately this video ended up becoming 30 minutes long. Which, I mean, yeah, it isn't bad. But I'll go over the family in a separate video. And maybe even go over a few other games that I like to play. Like Friday the 13th. Maybe even some Resi 5. I don't know. Only time will tell. Until next time, peace.